fia te whatalo whātulu ni fwoi vaenga o le fiafile nei o le asolulu i le whaanga solo ai o Paul Kalame ala wala ata nei o le NUS TV i afi taitasi whatalo whātulu i le pa ia man malu se tātou tino ma se fwoi paanga ala wala ata nei o lo whapio na mai mo mai ia iso se tafal nei la rangi malo le onsai malo fwoi le ngā lue le nei fwoi aso ia le whai tini lau o pa moi moi i le lofa mareanga lei o le atua le fwoi ua toe taunu manuia i a inga whaatasi fwoi mai la tau sa wha muli mai i wala fwoi tap o i o lo tātou o le whaiva i le nei fwoi aso a is whapoponga nei o le tātou Paul Kalame o le Tulino e pei o na masani i fwoi as taitasi sanga mo vai ia le fwoi ua toe a matatu i le nei fwoi tau sanga i le fefi nei la ia o le atatou tomua i se Paul Kalame whaapitoa pila fwoi o na whaatartan noa i le nei fwoi i aso ia i le vaenga ale sau whainga o onga ia tūlanga fwoi o lo iai fwoi na inisi fwoi o la tau tau whainga fwoi o lo iai piu na whaatatan noa i sunga ia sang potele te Archinson.
Ia, e mamuri atu whaatalofa le nei vaenga o le fiafi po ia mo le malu so tātou nuu nei lau whaasausonga fwoi sa ma po fia lava fwoi se vaenga o le nei laurangi ua e maua mai le tātou vaenga nei o le Paul Kalame whaapito le nei fiafi ia mātou mai o leo mātou whaatasi atu fwoi le mātou lau manisi fwoi usui ua whaapena ona ngai mai e whaatatalo no nisi o vaenga tāua i loko tam tau ia ne ua i le fionga fwoi sua whaalangilangi le fionga tuala me fi vaya ia pia fwoi na rausi le fwoi so tātou nuu e me se fwoi ia le tūtam tau pito i o tātou lau ia le ufa penauna se ia tuai ia le sunga fwoi le Associate Professor Dr. Susie Schuster nei vaenga le fiafi. Pleasant good evening Tuala and Susie.
Ba lo se voma langi mai la sunga sang potele e me se foi le malu le ala ate nei ma fala tonga ia me se foi tātou university o Samoa.
Well, I'll start off in English. Matau mai le tātou tunu ia ona o lo ufa pena ona iai fwoi tūlanga fwoi lele o na mio le whamtala ino le tātou Paul Kalame ngana whapetania ino o lo whilongia le tātou lau ia o le a tamwhai atu ngana e lua. Associate Professor Susie, can you talk about what is the program? The sports science? Is this a new program in the university and what's it about?
Excellent. Thank you so much for having us, Susuma Sangapolitelli. We really appreciate this opportunity. This year, we're really excited. We're launching the Diploma for Sports Science initiative that was driven by the industry. Our program is responding to basically the industry needs of saying that we need to build up and reinforce the sport industry as it's growing in capacity with a huge mission of being sustainable for Brisbane 2032 Olympics. It's a big goal. And we are launching as a joint initiative between the Faculty of Science and Faculty of Education, which strengthens the whole program. We confirmed that there was student demand for it, both in sport science and sport management. And really, NUS is really looking to secure a commitment of at least 20 students for our initial intake to get this program off the ground. Yeah.
So we're targeting the Olympics.
Yes, we are.
So sports and science. So what's the correlation? Is it something new in Samoa or?
Tai sanga potele le tāua i o le tūlanga le pe o se si tanga le po se suinga fo ile o fa pe ona mo miti fo ia tātou ia sesno po whanga paanga le ana tātou o le komiti o Talonga Olimpika ia me se fo ile University of Samoa ia o le silfia fo i o mai mo pe ma silfia malu le tunu te le ana tātou wa ai i lunga malai fa tālo au tuatu la fa tālo ma malai o lo ia fa ia onga ma fa ia onga fa to o le sai nisi na se tasi tūlanga tāua o le wana o mo o ia tātou industry ina ia o le se whataitainga o lo ia ile head coach au tūlanga mana o ile head coach ile performance ala tama po le teinta alo ina tūlanga wha sa inisi o le preparation the science of the body movement ma tūlanga wha pena e tā pena i eipo Kalame alum whanau fua i mo onga o tātou whaiawa ta iuru pe o se whaasoa tule a matali al tātou whatanonga al tā ua i o le tūlanga leo o le whailonga ta uloa o le sports science e so soni e ia ma fa tupu lolo pe el tātou sports ala ma yon whaiawa.
Okay, so Associate Professor, Do you see a need for sports science education in Samoa? And if I may ask, why do you think we need the sports science sort of discipline?
Absolutely. Historically, we had run a program in the early 2000s with a joint venture between National University of Samoa and Unitec in New Zealand. And we offered the Diploma for Sport and Fitness Education. It was the first of its kind for Samoa and the region, actually. And it benefited the current industry who were real trailblazers in the community, in the sport industry, but did not have the formal qualifications to support their ventures. We ran that program for 3 to 4 years and found that it was not overly sustainable because it was a Unitec degree, so therefore it was Unitec fees. So it became unachievable. And that program was more of a generalist educator program with a bit of sports science. This program, however, is really getting into it. We're no longer skirting around the issue that sports is heavily centered in the science and technology area, just like sports is centered heavily in the management area as well. And that'll be something in the future. So we need that. We need coaches. We need talent identification. We need those sport expertise to be able to understand biomechanics, skill acquisition, physiology, human anatomy, all of the implications of exercise upon the human body, not just understanding the human body in a status condition. We also need people who can drive good sports nutrition. Sport injuries and athlete welfare is a very big industry now that we need to make sure that all of our coursework is touching upon athlete welfare and safeguarding.
Wow, sounds like this is something that Samoa really needs, especially on the scientific level. Tuala o levana e tau tua tono tātou tino I vaenga tau tālonga. I laua ia sila fo I tūlanga sai aia tātou au tā aro ese. A whape whatu lai le aonga le tono Samoa. Le asau se auka mo le atu tilo tātou lumnai.
Maro whaftai o le tāua I o le tūlanga le ngai luma ma le tamu whaifoi le ina o ngatasi ma tūlanga o iei fwoi levels in the international sector. Wa le tau noa mai lalo lava the community po tono tātou sisi mangai o alam whanau la Haiti. Ai tātou se to o le league po na to o whai ma le fo o Samoa. O le tāua I o tūlanga le o whatutainga a whape o iei le li po le tamaitai tālo. Le li o la leo whai au ma pia msangro le Associate Professor ia Dr. Susie. Iei la to supporting le athlete le o le formai o le physio o le formai o le head coach. Technical coaching. Ai iei le pito la au tāua lava I tongo tātou sports science a wala tāpenanga. Pila pon whaasoia I Dr. Susie Neil tai o tāpenanga la lea sea wa ia au mai moa. Pa wale tūlanga le I lo anto o le whaiaonga ia o le athlete pe o le individual sport po le team sport. Tāua I o tāpenanga ni mena le situ tāua o le tamu whai ina ia aua le iei le manuanga le sports injury prevention. E fua lai tāpenanga mamao ale trainer ia po le sports scientist ina ia inform mai ma whapeona a foi fautua foi na luenga tātou whaiaonga tai lua mise lava ia au te tele whaiaonga multiple coaches and ia o tūlanga leo le ile tumai te atao tūlanga leo o iei ona manuanga e fuala iei le tāpenanga mō le taimi ina whai ona tūlai mai ai e whai maa me fua Samoa so le tūlanga leo le mō le whailonga pe ona Samoa foi Dr. Susan tāua ia o le situ e le ngatara ni whainanga lue but the employability yeah. Ma whai ona sa I le inga luenga na tō ia le diploma, degree, ngai tu no le masters e le ngata I Samoa nei ai mai se foi la atu ma ona walo ia la tūlanga le sports scientist or strength and conditioning coach e tenga lue New Zealand, Australia, America whape foi la Samoa o taui foi la o ngā luenga lea se le mawai whape o iei la tātou whainonga tau loa ia e amata tu tātou pokalame na diploma. Very important tāua I o le role o pokalame me mala tau o le pale mai fo I tono tātou diploma.
Fōringa maila o tāpenanga nei e amata maila wa le mawhau o le tino ma tamata atoa e anga I whatinonga o taanonga le o ino taanonga mai ngā mwhapene.
Sound like ya wa lo yilka ko tātou whaianga te iulu, the head coach malangi vaenga out the role of the science part it's about le health for the o tato tamata alo por teni ta a wal ta penanga prescriptive training ia male monitor for le ma ai ma mau ina yau sia tu langa le mana o yel tato fa ndo ia ma tato fit
Associate Professor, I was just asking Tuala about what sort of outcomes are we looking at towards the next couple of years once we implement the course. And of course, I understand that we're building towards the future and towards the Olympics in the future. And I was just wondering, there's people out there that are watching right now who might be, interested in what we're discussing at the moment. How can people get into the program? What sort of prerequisites? What sort of things do they need to be able to understand? I understand it's quite scientific. So do they need some science background or sports background? Can you elaborate on that?
Thank you very much. To get into the program, we've kept it as a wide open door as possible without putting too many conditions. We are aware that our colleagues, our practitioners within our own sport industry have come through an organic way of developing their qualifications, and their amount of experience far outweighs an immediate diploma or certificate or something. So we have said that the enrollment can be anybody who's completed a foundation certificate, if they're coming up through the traditional route as a young student. And for those who have been into the industry, we are asking for at least 20 years old and at least 1 year of relevant experience in the industry. But I think it's worth noting that this program, yes, it is called a Diploma of Sports Science. Yes, there is a science foundation to it. So therefore, we're asking for those that are interested to do this, are open-minded, are willing to learn, are willing to go the extra mile in applying scientific principles to everything that they're already doing, that they know. And I think it's just going to help leverage terminology, conversation, communication, both internally, nationally, and regionally and internationally, if we can all start growing that compilation as well. And just one other thing I wanted to add with that is that we've put the professional practicum course in the first year. Typically, a professional practicum course is where they do their internship. And it's typically in the last year of a program, last semester, where they're all refined and polished and ready to go out. But I wanted to design the program with my team where we're getting our students out immediately, working with the Ministry of Sport and Recreation, their community development programs, the schools, anything with the national federations led by SOSNOC as well. It's really important that the students are engaged at the get-go to really see what it's a practitioner. We're training them to become a practitioner, not necessarily an academic. Yes. And this is where we want to put their energy towards and our energy towards. Yeah.
Thank you, Professor. Tuala. Yeah, Elena Malai, tatu tangata are gifted in sports. We are naturally gifted in sports. Ilong maluay fo tonga tonga talong tatu no matino fo yo faibolo maluay. Pen officially associate professor tu long le level to inga tangata mfeuna sa we take up le por kalami. No le ai ile tu fa sa inisi. A le tu ai fa tinongo ni no talong te le sini tatu tangata. Ona sa sila ia. E ona fa faingo fi ona nga va me tatu tangata to va auto va me take up le ia o
tai sang po tele ole tu langa ta wa le ese mai lai le fa te inga mai le 13.9 to wa au sia tu langa le foundation i tono tatu ta longo ia luas fumal ban tatu National Federation fa te inga lo le ilan to wa ye fo ilanga va na o ye ilan to ye ilanga va mai ilan to regional federations, international federations inisi fo yo o ngo fa piona no na usia ia mo ila ko certification o le va no tau galia e fa piona bala u ye ilan to ya fo e anga i mai tanto bala le diploma in sports science e sanga una ia ai ma fausielo la tu va ina ia usina ni titulanga e fa ma si fo la tu si le fia no la tu mai fa pito ole ni la tu ia ma alignment po mana onga ole ile mana onga ta o le mana onga tu o ia ta tu fa ia te yulu ta tu management structures e mai se fo la ta tu ba mai ia ole tau te loe mai lalo la grassroots o sa tono o onga anga mai ta tu development tono ta tu outfield national federations ana si tia no le tātou team Samoa o ila le mana onga lea ia male tātou ia longa te sia fo ila mana onga tātou whina onga ma tātou tā longa ona o le tūlai mai tūlanga le whataitai ma si i tātou au tau sanga fia tele na wala au we ask for overseas sports analyst South or biomechanist South tātou S&C trainer Alela wa tala le no mo le lumanai so it's sustainable tau nga fatau ni mai nei tātou ona fa o ina i tātou walang whanau ia ma toe fa whainga ruenga isi taimi o lo mo tā ua i tūlanga
Associate Professor, from a curriculum standpoint, what would someone that's wanting to come enroll, what would they expect? What is the expectation of them? And also talk about costings. How much would this cost? And how long is the program in terms of semesters?
Thank you for that. Yeah, it always comes down to money, doesn't it? It's a full-time program, though people can take it part-time. We encourage full-time if possible, so that's 2 years. Each semester would be four courses a semester. Each course is about a 4-hour commitment, contact hours with the lecturer. And they can expect to do a few assessments, but again, to try to encourage people to understand that we're not going to be sitting in a theoretical space, but we're looking at application. We're looking at as much as possible that what they're learning from a book, from a lecture, is immediate application in the field, either in the gym or out in the community. So they can expect to be engaged fully with 4 courses a semester. We've tried to keep it as balanced as possible. For example, this coming semester is A&P for sports, which is anatomy and physiology for sport. There's also a skill acquisition, so it's an introduction to biomechanics, but done at a very foundational level to help them understand that biomechanics is something that they probably have been doing all their life without understanding that it was biomechanics. Yes. And also sports studies, which is a great course to be engaged with the national federations who run community outreach programs and coaching level programs. So that's what we'll be doing with them. And then a wonderful survey course called Health and Personal Development, which we combine that with our HPE students as well to really learn about the body through the self, which is one of the easiest ways to go about application learning. Yeah. So the program is, again, it's 2 full years. It would cost approximately $3,700 per year. So we're looking at a total of $7,400 for a total of 2 years. And in saying that, we have fortunately been endorsed by the Ministry of Education and Culture, where they offer scholarships, and scholarship applications are opening up very soon, if not already, through the Ministry of Education and Culture. For those who are interested in obtaining any type of diploma or degree in the Faculty of Education to become teacher of ECE, primary and secondary, and they've also opened it up for the Diploma for Sports Science. We're also working with the Ministry of Sport and Recreation as we speak now to look for additional financial support and scholarship for our intended cohort. Yeah.
Wala sa ba ai le tulanga o no ia fo tatu tangata e o me take up le course.
Wa ro tai mo tele sa o fala ro fo salo sa e fa fonga fo ile sa no nga le fionga le minsta wa nga po le fio nafi I so soni on mo mai le malo a wala le si tio tulanga la le formal education. Formal education le formal education to talonga o tono foi o le ala mania le sa ili foi ia tanto talonga mai sei la to tas ina ia mafai ona la to au sia ia le lo tau sanga le sa no ia Dr. Susie Schuster ina wona I pa ia tanto ba in terms of completing the 2 years o le tawe tulanga le a mese foi le initial entry o le tanto diploma in the tulanga le the physical literacy o le sata tu tono le talent ID o le si tulanga le fa fe ona I lo le taleni ale tama po le train mai le age le sfuto lo na sufito ya fa pe le o ye ni ta tu tanga te fa to pe la po kana specific skills to carrying out talent ID e tua e ta lo mais ese why ese le velo down say to low ese le contact sport ese ta to combat sports ese ta to au fi au si water sports o le tele o ta ni ese e mana o mi le so sa ni pe la to apela le physical literacy level le ta wo foi la ese mai le tu langa mo mo ta to ta lo but for financial resource support on ta wo yo tu langa le do ta tala mai foi le no to no ta no o te msalo e sa i foi lo ta to foi committee pe o isi pa anga pe the Ministry of Education Culture ya mai foi the sport and recreation na in foi ta to langa la to o tu ba mai le fa mo
now after associate professor any hopes of the program developing into a degree level program?
Yes. So it's intended to get our bachelor's program rolled out by 2028 so that those that have entered in this year would have the option to either exit after the diploma or take a further third year to do a bachelor's. So we are looking to get that done within the next couple of years. We're also looking to have another pathway. Been working with ONAC, which is the Oceania National Olympic Committee, and SPC in Fiji, developing sport management qualifications. And so we will be looking to see if we will bring that over across from Fiji, from the regional organization, and putting it through our SQA program here and offering it here. So, and just to reiterate again about the MEC scholarships. MEC has been fantastic in terms of supporting sport-specific expertise at school level. And this is another community that we need to be servicing to ensure that our students within the school systems also have quality sport instruction. Just like how MSR is really focusing on grassroots community development, competition, and then ultimately high performance. So that's why the two ministries are very important to the way our program is being rolled out. Yeah.
I think we're coming towards the end of our panel this evening, and I just want to ask Tuala, in your position, Malo Pulo, for Lilo Tulanga Lo for Penana, a Lui Foi, and an overview for Alaway, tell if we really taluma. Lasa Fautuanga, Associate Tassi, my to Tono, Kalapata Alo Tassi. Winga le tatu po kalamene o le se fautuanga I myself at Marcy Alco. Ne ya nga email malu le tunu. Wa le pe na isa o le tele tatu coach mo le ngva le foi tele tatu tanga ta alo isi mais la to foro nga lo inisio tu tino o meto talonga. E pe le tu tino le pe sa so na ta le sa mo pe tele na apa ya tunu ifafu. Ale la pe wo mo le vano. O le afa pe na o winna la ve tunu sa mo. Na sa u lu I foi tatu associate is le fiasi.
Tai sanga po tele le Italia tu fasili ya ole le ulwa I fatal no ngol po kalamele le tu la vai al seston sa fa peona tal no foi le committee fa foi masino o topo te usano vai o se nganga fia pe foi fa so ele fio ngai le president ele fio ngai to pe mama sui us fono committee ma fa pe foi se la tu lango ina ai ma ole va no te tala no ai pe la lo ta tu wa se I be le ni tu la fia on tala lo le no te tono tanto talonga mai lai tu langa wati nai development okay development le lunga I tanto team Samoa I but on the focus in the development male ati nai na talonga tono Samoa yang tonu la ba il tu langa le fa upenga ina o tanto tangata fa to tanto fa ya I dem fa la ia with its replacements and fa nga lui la to o le fa peona nga I mai le course le nga ia tu tanto federation chi e goes for male valu le practical po se practical la knowledge si le feel la to langa lo na mia ya le discipline ya male ai fa fela na fa tino nga yo ni to no le ta lo wa ese mo ta lo te lo se tu langa ta wa le se sonia ti le to ita to ta lo nga ya ai mi se fo se son I tama po le ta mai ta ni na nga I mai to no ta to ti lo le se lu ita to ta lo nga ya ta tu la mai mo le leva no la te tala tu le fionga ya doctor Susi le vala the promotion and invites le uma te tala mo to after le lo for le wa ye wa en to find ulenga for ta to university a Samoa. This has been a need. We've been lobbying le van tal no e ma fi now ya tu langa o fa no ka o to no ta no ai mai se la mo le coaching and sports science.
Ero isu fuanga ero sta to roadshow ni tui isi tu tino talo mai fai lo el tato pokalami.
Ya, mana ya si dia foi tara tu pe yo tu ngala la tu tu le fio ya Dr. Suzy ya me se foi pulenga maulungo tato stay on samo.
Associate Professor, I think we're coming towards the conclusion of our panel. Is there any other issues that you want to discuss or any other, I should say, segues that you want to let the people know about?
Yeah, well, since I'm here, and thank you very much for this opportunity, because we're housed in the Faculty of Education, the Faculty of Education also has quite a plethora of programs that are on offer. We have our new Diploma in Education Secondary, as well as a Bachelor of Education Secondary that have been launched. And that's where a student can choose to enroll in more of the expressive arts curricula, such as physical education, visual arts, music, food and textiles, and expressive arts. And that's really important for us because those are curriculum papers that are offered within the high schools, and currently NUS would like to address to have teachers trained up in those specific areas. So instead of just English and math and science and social science, which are all fantastic and have been on offer without delay, we've got our bachelors back up and running, and we're looking to be able to draw in more students who are interested in formal teaching at secondary, especially in the expressive and practical arts area. Yeah, thank you for that.
So enrollment's coming up in a couple of
next
days,
week.
Next week.
Yes.
And so would you be there in enrollment?
Yes, I will be there. You can find me in the Faculty of Education area for the enrollment, which is next week, all 5 days. Please reach out and make sure that you have all the necessary documentation that you need to be able to enroll. It would be any of your transcripts, your birth certificate, and a little bit of money for the enrollment. I think it's about $125 that you do have to put up front to start the enrollment process. Yeah.
Well, I guess that's pretty much it for our panel.
Whakatei mo lewa noa, sang pōtele, i o le nganga ngol whakatei. I o e pefua sang noa, Dr. Suzy Schuster i lewa noa, e wha lau loa tili nei po kalame tau. E me se luma nai about the future, but le never know i mo le tō le nganga whakatei le pōlenga maunua, the leadership of the University of Ao Samoa. Le fionga i Vice Chancellor, le fionga te fuisaa, Dr. Patila Amosa. Ia, ma le loa i on tūlanga whanupea, i le tō whae, le o te tana lewa noa mo tātou tālonga. Me se level tu nang fai bang talo talo ya ya apa lo ya le tu se fu ta tu pulenga le ta tu investe awao Samoa ya me se foi la lata ya me se foi Samoa lo fa peona sila mai mano fo tapo wa se lu mana imanuia mo ta tu walum fana se tala tu le ne fa te le mo ma no
After il nasa mo e fa fonga mai mo foi i el tulanga pe ona il fa tal tonoanga al tatu panel nei vai ngale fiafi o le diploma in sports science ia po le tatu o ngale ia po le tatu koso ne i wa fausia fa pitoa e o ina le tulanga i ta alonga mal fa se nisi e ngalu rue fa tasi ni fa pena ona man gu ia tatu au ta alu i ma man gu so tatu no mo moli la fa tai nei vai ngale fiafi le fiong fa tuala le su fiong le swaf fa langi e mai se fo ia o le associate professor Dr. Suzy Schuster mo le tatu fa tatal noanga nei fiafi manatu ia manu te lina no fa so so Samoa tatu tu sta pai pe ngon ngalon ea on gitele nei fiafi
ya o nasa mai mo mai i se fa tatal noanga na ia ni fo i aso male vainga sa fa inga o a onga i tulanga fo i pe on te fo la tu tau fainga ni si fo i me au fai mo ni fo tau sanga ele vainga tatu so fu ma so fa nau ia ele i tau no mai tatu so fu so ai fa na tu tatu atunu ia mis fu la tu o la lampa pa au fa fu ia le fo to ia mata tatu po kala mele ni tau sanga fa alinga fa lo tele ma so se fa si silanga ia o lo mo la no tatu po kala mele mis fu yo so fu ma so fa nau ia mo la no e batu e lo so fu no tatu la tani ia wala fu fa mianga was fa pito ia atoanga fo yo le fia tau sanga ia o tu fa sia fo il sakala meta o le fai poi ponga ai msalo o le taununga fo ile marsi u ile o tatu po kalami ile nei fo ia fiafi tatu tu sta pa ile sa taiau taimina nei manuia fa so sanga le fiafi fa so foi